Hello and welcome to February 3rd of 2025. I am Tiffany. This channel is Beyond Swatches. Tiffany is a plus size person who makes knitwear to fit her body. I'm also forever on a quest to find new designers, not just the popular ones, that make patterns that fit and flatter. That's my new word for 25. Fit and flatter this plus size body. I don't want anything on me that just necessarily looks like a tent, but I also don't want anything so form-fitting that I don't feel comfortable in or confident in the final garment. So it's a nice little delicate balance, and that's what I'm doing around here, just trying to find patterns that work. This year I decided to focus on making things for my family and for friends, even though I don't have that many of them, and just really trying to make for others, but those who I consider to be knit-worthy people. I love when people see you and they say, oh, you should make me one. I probably should, but I will not be, right? But for my family specifically, especially my husband, my goal is to definitely find a nice pattern for him in a yarn that he likes, in a color that makes him look good. That's my goal for this year, is to make him something. But currently, I have been working on a sweater for my oldest daughter, who just turned 30, by the way. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the child is 30. But anyway, so I'm making a hoodie for her. So if we backtrack maybe a year, we had a little guilt situation from my oldest daughter. I was supposed to have made her a blanket years ago. Okay, so I made her a throw. I crocheted her a throw blanket out of one of those big and fluffy yarns. And she's like, that's not a blanket, that's a throw. You promised me a blanket. I want my blanket. So I found this beautiful pattern by Tin Can Knits, and it's like a hexagon shaped thing, and you kind of piece it all together. Well, there's 144 plus hexagons in addition to half hexagons and a border. Like, it's a lot of work. But I bought the yarn and I was starting on it, and I've been making little hexagons when I was working. I would work on a couple of hexagons during the day. Well, fast forward a little bit, and my middle daughter, I made her a hoodie, which is the cable crush hoodie. My oldest saw it and was like, I want a nice hoodie too. And I'm like, well, do you want the same one or do you want something different? She's like, no, I don't want the same one she has. I want my very own. So I got into the patterns that I had, and I found some decent ones. And then Tin Can Knits released a pattern called the Besties Hoodie. The Besties Hoodie, we'll put a picture up, is a beautiful, simple looking hoodie in where you can color block it. You can make it all one color if you want, but the fun in it is using up all of your scraps, right? So you can have your body in one color. You can do the arms in different colors if you want, the collar in a different color, the cuffs in a different color. It's just beautiful. Like, the possibilities are endless. So I sent it to her and I'm like, hey, Kiara, do you like this one? We can do it in whatever colors you like. And so she picked blue and yellow. The colors that it was supposed to be was similar to that light blue cable sweater that I'm working on, but I didn't really want to work on a sport weight because I'm already working on a sport weight object or garment. So I went and kind of did a little bit of searching, and I found Lion Brand released a Woolies, which is one of my absolute favorite commercial yarns to use. It's durable, it's practical, it's washable and dryable. And they released a DK version of that Woolies yarn, which is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It is a beautiful, beautiful yarn, and it's practical and is not overly expensive. Aside from the fact that Joann's may be going out of business, Joann's is a place where you could always get some good Lion Brand deals, but I also have an affiliate link for Lion Brand, so I'll always throw a link in the comments there. So if you want to just look and see what sales are going on, I think right now they have a 30% off all kits and yarns. So always a good way to kind of grab some yarn at a cheaper price. Anyway, I digress. So I found the Woolies DK yarn, and I got the navy and like a yellowish gold, which ironically is her college colors, which she didn't graduate from, but we still all about Aggie Pride here. So Aggie Pride to those who are from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, North Carolina A&T. That's the school. Anyway, with that being said, we went blue and gold, and I cast it on this hoodie. And the hoodie, as far as pattern reviews so far, is really not that difficult. But let me show you what I got so far, because I just finished the second sleeve last night. So we are blue and gold, and because it has options everywhere, you know, as far as colors, I went ahead and striped her arms. I just felt like an all yellow arm was a bit much. It was a lot of yellow, so I went ahead and striped it. And so my intention now is to do the blue on the body and then do a yellow stripe, but probably only like 3 across the whole body. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. So I didn't drop a stitch. I think I inadvertently made a yarn over somewhere, and when I went back to drop it, it just created a hole. So we'll have to go back in there and kind of sew that together. But pattern is really well written, as all of Tin Can Knits things are. This was not a free pattern, by the way. It was a paid for pattern. This is a drop shoulder type of construction. So I'm trying to get in here. So you start with the back and you cast it on, and then you pick up some stitches for the right shoulder and the left shoulder. There are some short rows in there, and you knit down the front, and then you go and pick up on the other side and you do the same thing, and then you join in the round. And then once you join in the round, the directions say go ahead and just finish the body. I don't like doing body first. I just don't like it. So I stopped where I joined, and I went ahead and followed the directions for the sleeve, which was pick up the same amount of sleeve stitches from the front side and the back side, knit it in around X amount of inches, get down, do your decreases, and then do your cuff. In the pattern, it said to knit the sleeve until it was 16 inches long or up to 2 inches shorter than you would like the arm to be, so that you can have space for the cuff. Well, we went rogue on that one, because by the time I made it down to the decreased amount of 48 stitches for the sleeve, I was already at 21 inches long. That's a lot, right? So I made it down to 21 inches. So I just went ahead and stopped, and I just did a 1 inch cuff, which is fine, and repeated the same process over here. Yeah, so the sleeves are done. This yarn feels really good. I will say it's been a little splitty to work with. So some of these like stitch definitions, you can see it's kind of rode out in some areas. Sometimes I end up knitting continental, and then I'll switch and I'll do English style for a little bit if my hands are hurting. Yeah, just whatever. Let me see if I could show you. One thing that I did on the second sleeve that I did not do on the first sleeve was something with the stripes. I wanted to show you, because I was a little concerned about having the lines line up, and it's not a major deal, right? Like, it's not a deal breaker or anything, but I wanted it to be as close to seamless as possible. And so basically what I ended up doing in order to make it as seamless as possible is, when I started the color, right, I knitted in the blue, then I came back and knitted the next round in yellow. And when you come back around for that second row of yellow, I did a knit one below in that first stitch of the blue. And what that essentially does is lift the stitch so that it's in line with the rest, hopefully that makes sense. And so when you knit down below one, instead of it being like staggered like this, it now pulls that bottom stitch up so that it meets it head on. And that's how I was able to get the almost perfectly seamless coloring. We'll see what happens when I block it. It'll be interesting to see if anything shifts or, you know, gets out of place. But yeah, so this is the cardigan. This is the hoodie. And as it showed in the picture, I will be doing for her a yellow hood. I confirmed it this morning. A yellow hood. No stripes on the hood though. It's just going to be yellow. And they have an option in the pattern to do a pointed hood, which I'm not a fan of, or a shaped hood, which is almost like a little rounded. So that's the one we're going to go for, mainly because she has a lot of hair and I feel like a pointed hood just doesn't sit well on the head. So I think a rounded hood will give her what she needs to kind of make sure she can cover her hair, if she decided to use it. Because quite honestly, I feel like hoods are just there just in case it gets windy or just in case it starts to rain, but they're just there. So that's the hood. The kangaroo pocket, which goes there on the front, is also going to be in yellow. So that's why I felt like a couple of yellow stripes on the body, like maybe 2 or 3 total, and then draw it all together with the yellow pocket. I don't know if I'm going to do a yellow body bind off, like the hem. Haven't figured it out yet. We'll kind of play it by ear. But I might just go ahead and put the yellow on the hem, because I did change the color on this. So in keeping with the theme of the whole color block situation, maybe I will. I haven't decided yet. And then that'll be it. So I'm going to start working on the body of this. As far as that light blue sweater, she is taking a back seat right now. Not for any other reason, I guess because I really want to give this to my daughter now, like before, you know, when the spring gets in, I want her to have it. So I'll be working on this primarily, and that'll be my main project. The other project, I'll pick it up eventually. And in true lazy people form, the reason why I have not worked on it is because I'm at the end of a ball of yarn and I need to wind up another one, and I just haven't done it. That's it. I have no other reason. The next thing on the list of things to talk about, nothing major, of course. Somewhere in some video, I mentioned having some yarn that I love the color of, but I have no idea what to do with it. And it's because it's such a busy color and it's so bright. I would not wear it as a garment. I don't like the way that the colors, okay, let's not say I don't like the way that they fade, because I do, but I just don't think it would make a pretty top. So I've decided to make this into some sort of an accessory. This is the yarn. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so pretty. It has all of my favorite colors, especially that bright pink. And I started playing around with some different patterns, shawls and scarves and things like that. And I don't know, where did I find this pattern? It's in a book somewhere. I bought a book years ago, like a knitting magazine or something like that. And this was a pattern in there. And you can't really see the pattern, like the design or what have you, but you can still see that there is some texture and it feels really nice and is nice and bright, and it would definitely be a statement piece, right? So I thought about that. Well, then I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't really like I just don't like the way it's coming out. And so I thought maybe I'll do something like a Sophie scarf or shawl. Maybe I'll make a big one, make it into a shawl. The other option, of course, would be just to make it into a cowl, like a neck thing. But I don't really wear cowls. It's not my thing. I don't like it as a hat. Like, I felt like the colors was just too busy. It's pretty, but it's just too busy. And selfishly, I don't want to give this to anybody. I want this to be for me. I want this to be something that I make for myself. It's Is it a worsted weight? It's Allegria Grande. So it's nearing a worsted. It's like a DK weight. Light worsted is what they would call it, I believe. And I just don't know what to do with it. I thought about using it in that pattern that's coming out by Crayabea. It's got that beautiful yoke color. But when I asked her would a good variegated yarn work, she said no. It would have to be two different colors because of the way how the pattern, the stitches stack on top of each other. And I don't have another yarn that would match this. I do have a light purple though. We'll have to play it by ear. But yeah, I don't know. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. If you got any good ideas or if you know of a pattern that will work, let me know. I really do think a nice size shawl scarf would be really nice. Just because it's so busy. It's so busy. You see how it looks like you can't really see the patterning, right? But you see the colors. So I don't know. This one has stumped me. I've had this yarn in my stash since 2021. And so that's where we are. So this book, 100 Knits, is an interweave pattern collection book. I've showed this book before. I'm sure I have. And they're broken down into categories: socks, hats, shawls and scarves, sweaters, like sweaters, pullovers or tees, and cardigans. And I found this pattern in here recently and I just fell in love with it. I was like, why didn't I notice this before? I probably would have started it. So I am going to very seriously consider casting on what is called the Biscotti. Let's see, the Biscotti Sweater. I have already some chunky weight, bulky weight number 5 yarn that I bought to make a dress this year at the end of the year. But I think I'm going to use it for this. I have a very pale gray and black, I believe. So the colors are almost just identical. And this has in here, let me tell you what it's called: corrugated rib and a vertical stripe. The rest of it is just raglan. So I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I've never done corrugated rib. I would think it shouldn't be that difficult. Looking at the directions, it says you bring both of your yarns to the back, knit the contrast color, bring the main color to the front, purl with the main color, bring both to the back. So I don't really think it's that difficult. That's definitely going to get casted on. And it's worked on a size 10.5 needle and an 11 needle. I think I'm going to cast this on this week. I think so. Finished bust size circumference. It goes from 37 1/4 inches up to 56 inches. And it says the model is wearing it with 5 1/4 inches of positive ease. The person who made this pattern is Kiyomi Bergen or Bergen. We're going to go with Bergen. And I just think it's such a pretty, try not to show the pattern, but isn't it pretty? I think it is. If I didn't already have the yarn in the colors that I have them, I probably would have picked maybe like a green and a pink or a blue and a yellow or something like that. But I have black and cloud blue, so that's what I'm going to go with. Also, in this book, I realized something, and you could tell me if you think I'm being a little whatever. But I feel like designers are making patterns at such a rapid pace that we buy to support the designer, not realizing that we probably already have something either very identical or pretty close to identical in somebody else's work. And I went on Ravelry looking for a specific thing, and I realized that there was a pattern from like 2007 that was very much similar to a pattern that I was about to purchase in 2024, except the 2007 pattern was free. And this is not necessarily a cost of pattern conversation, but it is a realization that there's only but so many ways you can make a thing. So just because somebody did a knit one, purl one, and you did knit two, purl two, I don't really think I should have to pay for such a small difference. This pattern, let me show you. I don't know what the pattern is called in today's world, but this is what this pattern is. It made me think of whatever is that thing Sari Nordland had recently that a lot of people were making, that cabled something or another. And I know the cables are not exactly the same. I know that. And we could tell that. However, the look is pretty similar, right? Okay, again, maybe not similar in the way the cables move, but I have this book of 100 patterns that, for inspiration purposes, I already paid. I did buy it with a gift card, but I think I might have paid $30 for this book. $30 for this book with 100 patterns. Why would I go out and buy another 5 patterns at $8 each because of the photo when I have something in here that is pretty much the same? Now, granted, sizing may not be the same and all of that stuff. So there's definitely a lot to consider. But what I'm saying is I have a lot of books and I need to start looking in these books and gathering some intel on whether or not this will work without me having to go buy a whole new pattern. Anyway. So that Biscotti pattern is definitely getting on my needles, and I think it's going to probably get casted on tonight. And outside of that, ladies and germs, I have nothing else to show you. I have been wearing my glove. It has been helping. Yeah, so that is it. I don't have anything else right now. Life stuff. I am 1 week out of being job eliminated. And I did go through all of the emotions initially. But today I woke up and I feel pretty good. I felt like it was still surreal, but it is what it is. As of right now, I'm going to be working on Kiara's sweater. That's my oldest daughter. I'll be working on her sweater today, and that'll be it. I want to enjoy this beautiful weather outside. It is a little breezy, but with a good sweater on, I might feel all right. I miss the sun. I miss the sunshine and the warmth. I miss all of it. And so today is a day where it's looking kind of warm out there, in the sun rather. So I look forward to just sitting out there and enjoying. I want to be in the house. I want to go outside. I want to go outside. I want to start my seeds and garden today. So today is really nice. I might bring the little seedlings outside just to get a little bit of sun, but there is like a minor cold breeze every once in a while, and I don't want the poor little seeds to go into shock. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear, but I will be putting some more seeds in today because according to my little seed garden calendar, I'm supposed to be starting some stuff today. So that's what I'll be doing. So yeah, let me know what you're working on. As always, don't forget the links that I put down there in the little pinned comment, so that if you want to be supportive of me, but you also need the yarn, like don't just buy it just because you want to be supportive. I mean, I appreciate it, but we don't have time for that. But if you're looking to start a new project, like I said, the Lion Brand kits are pretty cool. The pattern and the yarn all comes with it, and you can just bundle it all together and they send it to you. So yeah, check that out. And if you get anything, let me know. I'd love to see what it is that you're making. I have been kind of navigating myself away from Instagram, but not really. I'm just not as active on there right now. I did try to go over to Blue Sky, and I still post there every once in a while when I remember. Have been trying to utilize TikTok a little bit more, so you'll probably see more posting little snippets over there. But this will always be my main space here on YouTube. And I also have my blog where I kind of post an article or two of things that I'm working on and just kind of give updates as I go through them. So don't forget to sign up there if you just want to keep abreast of what articles and things I'm talking about over there. But yeah, so we're navigating unemployment, and I appreciate you coming along. It's definitely going to be something where you may see more of me, but like I said in the last video, you might not. It just depends. As of right now, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with what I'm doing, and hopefully that continues to work for me. So we shall see. But I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good week if I don't see you until the weekend. Oh, it's Super Bowl weekend here in the US. Super Bowl weekend. Are you cooking? Are you going to have a Super Bowl party? Are you like over it and don't care one way or the other? We love football in this house. I'm not too heavily invested in the teams. I just like the games. I always root for whoever the home team is. So I don't know how that works in the Super Bowl. So I'll usually probably pick off of my favorite color. And I think this year we got red and green, right? So I don't really like either one of those colors. I don't know. Yeah. Go everybody. We'll just root for you both. We'll see. Hopefully y'all just have a good game. But I do plan on making some wings. I got a pack of wings or two before the bird flu situation. They've been in the freezer. So we'll have some wings and just try to enjoy the day and enjoy each other's company. So I wish you the same. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Bye.